welcome. Welcome to my show, Your Radiant Life Over 45. I am Dr. Angelika Christie, your host of this on this amazing platform, Win-Win Women, a global platform where you can interact with experts, ask your questions, and be seen, be heard, be understood, and thrive. I believe in a world where women are cherished and can thrive because the world needs your light. The woman over 45 is so needed in our world today. And I help the woman discover and live her unique gift confidently and with pride. So with over 25 years of professional expertise as a naturopathic doctor specializing in healthy aging, and as a lifestyle and relationship coach, I share my heart and my knowledge with my vast personal experience with you. And if this sounds good to you, be my guest here every week on this day and at this time of day. Yes? Yes. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. I want to discuss something with you today that is so necessary. Peace. How can we bring peace in our body? It's already there, yet we are so distracted and bombarded with so much that is the opposite of it in our world today. So I am going to share with you the 7 C's to outrageous success, a peaceful and prosperous and meaningful life. Yes, today we can go maybe through a few of those. So the 7 C's, some of them, they start with clarity, courage, creativity, choice, commitment, and then comes community and collaboration. And today I want to speak a little bit more about community and collaboration, because collaboration takes your inner spirit, your peace, and the community gives you the safety and the opportunity to share with other women and be seen and heard and understood and valued. Yes, collaboration is important in our families. You know it if you have friends, personal friends, or at work, colleagues. But today I'm sharing a little bit more about collaboration with spirit so that you find inner peace. Because with inner peace comes happiness, and happiness, like peace, is an attribute that is natural to you, can only be disturbed by outside affairs. So what does inner peace actually mean? I looked it up at the Wikipedia. Sorry about this. Inner peace or peace of mind refers to a deliberate state of psychological or spiritual calm, despite the potential presence of stressors from the outside. Being at peace is considered by many to be the homeostasis of our being, so that our body can thrive, that our physical body, mental, emotional body is in harmony. And the opposite of being stressed or anxious. And it is considered to be a state where our mind performs at its optimal level with positive outcomes. So you see that peace is not just a spiritual idea, but it is actually important for the quality of everything you do in your life. So peace of mind is thus generally associated also with bliss and happiness and contentment. Peace of mind is defined as a mental state of calmness or tranquility. It may also include freedom from worry and anxiety. Don't we all want that? It can be intense and overwhelming when our minds buzz with thoughts all the time. I believe I read somewhere that we have at least 50,000 thoughts a day. Can you imagine how busy this is in your mind? So we just want some peace of mind, right? Which is to say we want a calm, relaxed, and content mind, because then we think clearer as well. And in some cultures, inner peace is considered a state of consciousness or a state of enlightenment. That's more in the Eastern world or Eastern tradition. That may be cultivated by various forms of training, of prayer, meditation, Tai Chi, yoga, and many more. And many spiritual practices refer to this peace as an experience of knowing oneself or self-realization. You know, knowing oneself is really the higher self, not the ego and the destructive self and the anxious self and the ego self, the self that is always wondering if you're good enough. Or no, we are talking about that true self, which is in perfect alignment with the divine, which is your God self, your higher self. So there are 8 suggestions on how to create that inner peace and happiness. Number 1, spend time in nature. Nature presents everything that we actually need because we are so much part of it. There is the tranquility, the beauty, the excitement. I mean, everything is in nature. So maybe you want to take short walks to really appreciate nature. You may find serenity and an expanded sense of awe for the world that you and me, that we are all an intrinsic part of. That world is within us, just like the entire universe is within us, is part of us. Yes, you are connected and part of all that exists in nature and anywhere else. I have actually written a little book about the connection to your body and the natural world in regards to the elements of air, fire, earth, and water. If you want a free download of the PDF, message me or email me, and I will be so happy to send it to you. Okay? And all the information is in my bio down below this video. Okay, so nature, take a walk in nature was the first suggestion. The second is meditate. Meditation is a beautiful tool to invite peace into your body. My clients and lady friends say that they struggle to sit still in meditation. You don't have to sit still or in a lotus position or even sit at all, but you can walk and meditate. You can contemplate or recite a mantra. I sometimes love to find words for God or the divine. I do this sometimes on my beach walks. I start with the letter A and go through the entire alphabet to find at least one word for how I appreciate the divine. But very often there are 3 or 4 or even more. Not with every letter, of course, of the alphabet. Some letters seem to be a little more challenging. And of course, this alone is like a prayer-like exercise, walking meditation. Yeah? Okay. Number 3, be grateful. Gratitude is a miraculous way of finding inner peace. It's a marvelous antidote to stress. You cannot be grateful and upset or even angry at the same time. So I would suggest that you start your day by finding at least 3 things, or better 10 things that you are grateful for. This alone will set the tone and creates a positive effect that your mind will use throughout the day. It can last all day, yes. And if not, then take a short break and find something else you are grateful for. Okay. So we have 8. I I think I will get through the 8. Let's see. Number 4, take responsibility for your actions. Yes, your actions are yours alone. Even if you believe that you had a good reason, or even feel that you had no choice, or felt triggered to act in a certain way, all of those are excuses, and they don't even make you feel great. Isn't that so? Taking responsibility for your actions, no matter what it is, will actually strengthen and empower you. It's a good, even happy feeling. Okay, just try it. Try it out. That's always the best way. Try it out. See how you feel. Okay? And number 5, don't let your past mistakes define you. How often do you live in the past? And you live in the past every time you think about something of the past, because it takes you right there and it creates the reality of it, right? As if you're there, it creates the entire chemistry in your body. The past is gone and cannot affect you anymore unless you allow it by bringing the past into your present, by thinking about it and getting emotionally triggered. There is no logical reason to do that. And yet we can be so attached to our life story, right? And it's such a habit. It's such a habitual, unconscious state of mind that we actually punish ourselves by continuously bringing up painful or negative events from the past. Stop doing it. You can break that cycle by consciously choosing to let the past be the past, which means cutting the invisible strings that seem to pull past mistakes into your present moment. You can even imagine strings and then cut them. Cut, cut, cut. Let them go and then love them free. Okay? Number 6, love yourself. Yes, I know it is easier to love somebody else than to love yourself fully. And here is why that is. Or have you ever asked yourself why that is? I believe here is a valid reason. You can love somebody else's lovable parts, right? But you cannot divide yourself that way. When it comes to you, you can only love all of you. The good, the bad. Hallelujah. The holy and the broken self. It's all you. It's all magnificent. There's no judgment. And no, God does not judge you. Never does, never has, never will. I don't know why I brought that in, but there it is. I believe in this very strongly, obviously. Number 7, practice acceptance and contentment. Contentment. When you let go of changing others, wanting to changing others, because you blame others and then you want to change them, or control a situation, then you're in constant friction, in constant stress. Why not do that and instead accept what is? Accepting reality is not always easy, but it prevents the suffering from holding on to the illusion of your wishful thinking. Can you see that? Contentment comes with deciding what is important to you in your life and letting go of the rest. I also see contentment as an ability to adjust to any situation that asks for adjusting, to change or pivot to accommodate change, which is what we have to do all the time. That is reality of life. And we really got pushed in it when COVID arrived, right? We had to pivot in so many ways. So that is a beautiful practice to be in reality, in what is actually true and happening, and that expands your ability to accept and be content. Yes? Okay, number 8, declutter. The more stuff you collect, the more you have to look after. That's a very simple, logical reality. The more you have, the more worries you feel that it may be taken away somehow. How? There are all kinds of things how something could be taken away. If you are attached to stuff that accumulated in your home, we also call this clutter, and that will disturb your space, which actually, this may sound a little bit strange, disturb your space, but when you have clutter, you actually disturb your nervous system. Even if you don't look at it, it is in your sphere of reality, and your subconscious mind picks it up too. Even if you're not consciously aware of this, you will see and feel the difference when you declutter your space. Just try it. What is really absolutely necessary in your space? And if you cannot do this in your entire home, or just declutter maybe one room, or if that's not possible, declutter one corner of the room and be in that space. There is a reason why Zen-like spaces are so sparsely decorated, right? Don't you feel this when you see a Japanese garden, how beautiful everything is and how much open space there is? Yeah. And even the design of it, there is a reason why the design follows a certain way. It's almost like sacred geometry. Some kind of geometry, but sacred geometry is that which makes us closer to the divine. Okay, so now I want to share with you the 4 ways to find peace for yourself. First one is focus on what is positive in your life and the long-term picture of what you want to create in your life. Feeling at peace is hard when you're focused on only the short-term worries, right? But when you allow yourself to focus on what you really want and the long-term results, then peace already comes into your physical body, because there is nothing to immediately have to attend to or to do, right? And then number 2, let go of what you can't control, but take inspired action on what you can control. And by the way, you are always in control. You're in control of your thoughts, which trigger your feelings. You may feel hopeless or even angry when something outside your control takes away your peace. But when those feelings are triggered, take a deep breath through your nose and exhale the tension. And you may want to do it 3 times. Then say to yourself that you have the power to choose your reaction to anything that appears in your world. Think about this. Isn't that a tremendous amount of power you possess? Because you can change your mind just in a flash. And it changes your feelings, and it changes everything. It changes your chemistry in your body. There is so much to say about all of these points that I have been making so far. And the 4 ones, there's also so much to say about. We had 8 before, and now there are 4 that I added to it. And each of those points, there is so much more to say about it. But you can always stop and think more about it, what I have shared with you, and write down your own feelings, your own experiences. Yes? Okay, so we are on number 3 or 4 now. Forgive others. Forgive. The reason why you may believe it is difficult to forgive, what you consider maybe even unforgivable, that only happens because you are attached. You are attached to the pain that somebody inflicted on you. I know this sounds strange. No, I'm not attached to the pain. Well, if you're not attached to the pain, then it should not irritate you, right? You can't help it. Yes, you can. Didn't we just talk about you change your mind, you change your thought, you change your feelings? You have probably heard this many times before, yet it is good to remember that your anger or bad feelings or, your upset, your disagreements, all of that which is negative, but especially anger is a very powerful feeling. So it's not, remember that it only hurts you, the anger that you feel towards that person. It does not hurt the person you are angry with. And it takes your unforgiveness, that this stays with you, because this unforgiveness for another person is like you are taking poison. That poison will never affect who you are angry with, but it only affects you. It kills your mind and can even kill your body, meaning that it could shorten your life, because anger creates all kinds of lousy chemistry in your physical body that can lead to diseases. If you can imagine forgiveness as an act of love and kindness and remedy, good medicine for yourself. Okay, now we come to community. I want to share a little bit about community. Do you know that you and I are the same? We look different, and yet we are the same. We have the exact same needs and desires. Can you imagine what they are? They include the need to be witnessed, which is the need to be seen, to be loved, to be touched, to be acknowledged, to be valued. Do you know where all of this happens? It happens in relationships with others. And a relationship with another is some kind of community. And when there are more than 2 or whatever, then when the community grows, you have even more opportunities to grow. So we have a lot in common. We just don't always notice it. Therefore, we feel more isolated than connected. And especially today, there is more and more isolation, more and more differences and fights. And I don't even want to go in politics. Of course, I don't do that. But you know what I mean, right? Connection is one of the primal necessities for our growth, for our sense of belonging, which gives us safety. And safety is a very powerful and necessary feeling to thrive. And loneliness is one of the most common realities, especially in aging women, or in women, who live alone or are divorced or are widowed. It is sad because it does not have to be. You probably know loneliness has nothing to do with how many people are around you, though. It has to do with connection and with allowing to be witnessed, be seen, be touched, be understood, be celebrated, and be valued. Nobody knows what's going on in your heart, how you feel, and why you suffer. About 30 years ago, after having met my soulmate, I gave up everything in my country, which was Germany, to follow my soulmate to the Bahamas, where we got married in 1980. So everything was new and exciting. I felt like the star in my own fairy tale. Then I gave birth to two beautiful children. My husband and I, we had it all: love, financial stability, and a beautiful family. Yet I became increasingly lonely, and I did feel isolated. I was living the life of being Mrs. Christie, the prominent and the successful attorney, and I was just his wife. I was living the dream life, so it looked on the outside. But inside, I felt so isolated because nobody really knew who I was. Even though I created two businesses from the passion I had inside of me. But still, it was a children's store, and 12 years later, I opened Radiant Health Center, a place for healing and health. And while running my children's store, I studied for 5 years to become a healer, a nutritionist, a naturopathic doctor, and many other health and healing modalities. The oasis of health and healing helped me to create a community that I then needed. I needed it for myself. I felt connected and happy teaching and creating circles of healing in so many ways, including Reiki, because I was a Reiki master teacher. But so I know today I don't have these businesses anymore, but today online we can create communities. And you see, I am now in that space where I have a bigger vision that goes beyond what I need for myself. I know how women over 55 suffer because their bodies are in disarray, their hormones are in disarray. They feel they don't recognize themselves anymore. They are so deceived in the outer world that worships youth, that you have to look young, that you have to buy all of this stuff, the creams and whatever, so you look young. But it's all a big lie. Mostly is a big lie. But you see, it takes courage to take a stand for yourself. And it takes clarity to know what the reason why you came into this lifetime, to know your purpose. You see, and we need support in growing into this into our freedom years, this most important part of our life, the second or the golden lives. It's a blessing when you have somebody in your family who is your cheerleader, but very often so many women don't have that. So this is why it is important to create a community. And I am going to invite you, and I talk about this in our next episode of next Saturday in my live show, about the Golden Life community, a community that some partners of mine and we are building, starting with the online community and later on actual living spaces. It will be so different from anything that you can imagine. It will be exactly what we need. My partners are at my age, around 70. So we know, women, we know what it's like. We know how to create that community. And we invite women over 55 who want to be part of this and grow and be seen and be understood and be cherished and feel safe and thrive. Okay, so this is all for today. And please remember that next Saturday, I will share with you what this community looks like that I imagine and envision. And we are launching next month. So this is all for today. Please come and be live with me next Saturday. All of my love to you. Bye-bye for now.